I've been really struggling with burnout lately. It feels like it's crept everywhere in my life. It affects my art, creativity, and even my relationships with other people. Today, I'm going to share one thing I'm doing to help myself recover and reclaim some artistic inspiration. Walks, and I mean a lot of walks. For the past few months, I've been trying to go on a walk almost every day when I can. I've been going to this little nature path close to where I live, and it really helps me reconnect with myself and also get a little bit of time in the greenery, which can be a little hard to do in the city. And let me tell you, it's done amazing things for my brain. While this burnout has made it difficult to come up with ideas to paint, seeing the world around me always brings some beauty to my attention. And so I decided to take a few photos and paint from reference. This is one of my favorite things to do when I'm facing burnout, because it takes very little thought and I can just focus on the image and try my best to recreate it. In today's painting, I didn't want to focus too hard on whether the painting looked like the reference. I wanted more to capture the emotion, and I also didn't want to put too much pressure on myself. The purpose of the activity was to have fun and get back into art again, and not worry quite so much about what the outcome would be. This kind of worrying is honestly probably why I'm burnt out in the first place. Because let me tell you, this is not just artistic burnout. This is burnout because I push myself very hard in every aspect of my life. I push myself hard at work, I push myself hard in my personal life, and also artistically. And balancing all those things while also trying to push myself to become better really quickly led to me being just totally exhausted and burnt out. Also, I will say burnout about 1,000,000 times in this video, and I apologize for that. Now, if I'm honest, I wasn't fully able to disconnect from all those pressures, but I was able to be a lot more mindful about it during this practice. This is definitely important because, as I said earlier, the reason I'm burnt out in the first place is because of how much I expect from myself, and it's just so crushing, and there's really no wonder why it's been holding me down this year. However, on a positive note, I was really able to enjoy this painting experience. I allowed myself to use the materials that I really love and not requiring that the piece be worthy of using them, especially since I was using my good, expensive, thick paper and some of my best brushes. This honestly really elevated the experience. Sometimes I force myself to use cheaper materials and other things because I don't want to waste it on something that I don't feel is worth wasting them on. But when I actually do allow myself to use them, the outcome is always a whole lot better. So honestly, I really need to shift from that mindset. I also allowed myself to use multiple mediums and not worry so much about traditional rules and techniques. There really is something so satisfying about layering gouache over watercolor. I'm really in love with the depth and textures and what I'm able to achieve with this. This isn't something new I've done. I have a really hard time using any medium completely by itself. I'm always adding different things, but there really is just something about gouache and watercolor together. I just love the contrast of the translucency of the watercolor and the opaqueness of the gouache. And while you won't see it in this video, I couldn't help but add some color pencil a few days after I finished it, so I will be sure to show what the finished piece looks like after it is all completed. Other things I found really important was taking breaks and not trying to finish this piece in one sitting. Oftentimes when I'm filming or excited about an art piece, I really try to finish it as quickly as I can, but I decided that that really wasn't my goal this time around. So I spread out the painting process of both the paintings you see here over a few days each, spending maybe an hour, maybe 2 each day. This allowed me to spend a little more time resting, and honestly, I have a really hard time doing this without feeling a little guilty, but pushing myself as hard as I have without resting is probably the biggest reason why I'm so burnt out. So this was really important. Without all the breaks, I really can't do any of this well, and I've really been trying to slow myself down. And I think slowly, I'm starting to recover. Also, a little note here, I couldn't help but add some colored pencil at the end. I did this a few days after filming, so unfortunately I don't have any footage of it, but I'll be sure to include a photo of it fully finished at the end. with that, we are at the end of the video. Thank you so much for joining today, and I hope to see you again next time.